Hey everyone, it's Bree and I'm back with another scrapbook process video for the Spiegel Scraps design team. And I'm going to be working with this sequin mix right there on my desk. It is called Grams Afghan and it is from the October sequin release and it is beautiful. It has pinks, a little bit of purples, it has like a burgundy. It's just real fallish, I guess you could say, but has like the pink and burgundy tones. So beautiful. I love it so much. And I thought it would match really well with the Marigold collection by Maggie Holmes and Crepe Paper. So I'm working with a lot of extra bits from one of my Hip Kit Club kits. And in one of the kits, it comes with these wood veneer frames by Jen Hadfield's The Avenue collection. And I think I've mentioned this before in a few of my prior videos on my personal channel. I struggle with frames, whether it be ephemera frames, puffy frames, wood veneer frames, just any kind of frame. So what I like to do with frames is to turn them into shakers. They are perfect. So what I've done is I've taken two specific frames and I've glued a piece of acetate on each one. And now I have some tiny foam strips that I'm going to manipulate around the window so I can create an area for my sequins to sit. Now I like to use the Doris foam strips that you saw on my desk, and the larger pack is from Scrapbook.com. And I believe you can pick up both at Scrapbook.com, and I know that the Doris ones you can also pick up at the Redefined Creative Shop that Christina Sorge owns, and I'll try to link that in the description box below. So now that I have the shakers basically done, I'm going to go ahead and spoon the Grams Afghan sequin mix into each of my little shakers. I do like to back my shakers with vellum, especially when I use pattern paper as the foundation or mixed media. That way you can see what's underneath it. Now, sometimes I do like to back them with like pocket live cards if I want a specific pattern on the inside of my sequin shaker, but for the most part, I like to use vellum. Now these were so simple. They're already done, and there was a little bit of a boo-boo. I actually glued the acetate on the wrong side of the frame. I meant to glue it on the lighter side where the lighter wood is. So it just, I ended up rolling with it. I just didn't plan on using that dark wood, so that's okay. So there are my shakers up close. I know it was a little fast, but I've made sequin shakers. I kind of make them almost every project because they're so much fun to make. And when I see such a beautiful sequin mix, I kind of want to highlight them or show them off in a way where they're all together still. And I love to sprinkle sequins on my page like as finishing touches, or on my pages I should say, as finishing touches. But when I see a specific sequin mix where I like to see it all together, that's why I like to create sequins. Now I did forget to mention there was a little pot that you can see on the, it's still on my desk, it's in the top left corner. It's like little glitter, I think it's glitter. But I picked that up in the shop in one of the, I think it's like the Pigment Splash color kits. I'm not sure if there are any available in the shop, but I did want to mention that was also from the SpiegelMom Scraps shop, and I sprinkled that in because it matched perfectly. They're rose gold, and it looks so pretty with Grams Afghan. So here are a couple photos of me and my two boys. These are, I think, from 2008 when we still lived in California, and we were having brunch on the Queen Mary that's docked in Long Beach. So the brunch was fantastic. You're just on the boat that's docked, and like you can walk the ship and eat the brunch. I think it was a champagne brunch, but it was so delicious. So we couldn't. Of course, we had to take photos and. So anyways, yeah, it's very rare that I'm in photos with the boys, especially when they were little. I was always behind the camera, and I didn't really make it a point to be in the photos with them, and that's kind of like a huge regret of mine, but that's okay. So I'm trying to go through a lot of my older photos and get those scrapped, and I thought that these photos right here were so cute because the boys were little and they're very candid and they're funny. Noah is blinking and making some funny face, and Elijah is just, I think he wasn't even one yet, so he didn't know how to smile on command, and he's just looking at his brother being silly. So I just thought it was fun photos to scrapbook, and they matched with this collection, and I like how it turned out. So anyways, all I'm doing right here is embellishing using some bits from the Marigold collection, and I think Oh, and then I took this sticker book, which is a clear sticker book, and I like to put white cardstock underneath it to create ephemera. If I need to, like if I want to pop a lot of the icons up instead of layering them up, directly onto the paper, that's a good tip. I know a lot of people do that these days. So yeah, just if you have clear stickers that you don't know what to do with, just put some cardstock underneath it. I like to use more of a heavyweight cardstock so it could, actually feel like ephemera and, be sturdy. I think I use maybe 80-pound Nina cardstock, or yeah, I think it's white cardstock. I think it's 80 pound. That's what I meant to say. Anyways, okay, so yeah, and what's great about doing that is with a clear sticker is it kind of creates a guide for your scissors to follow. So you just kind of, have your scissors follow along the edge of the sticker, and it makes fussy cutting those items a little bit easier. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just embellishing. The shakers, for the most part, are like the highlight of my layout other than my photos. And I did kind of create this little grid layout and embellishing around each of the frames. That's another way I like to utilize the frames, is to create a grid, especially because I don't know why I struggle with frames, especially chipboard frames. So my go-to is to always create a sequin shaker because they're fun. You get to display your sequins. You can use a lot of sequins in your shakers. You can add other things. You could add seed beads or other little, you could even add like tiny ephemeras or like those little puffy stickers on my desk. You could even put those in there. It's just so much fun. Sequin shakers are just fun. Yeah, so I'm just embellishing, adding those little bows. I did pull in a couple pieces from the Days of Splendor collection by Pink Fresh Studio. I wanted to incorporate that deer, and I'm so glad I was able to add him in, and he's looking over to the photos, so he kind of snuggled in there perfectly. And to finish it off, I am going to sprinkle in some of these beautiful sequins just as a little finishing touch. I should have ran the outside of that pink and wood grain paper through my sewing machine. I didn't add it, but I'll probably go back and see if I can run maybe like at least a top and a bottom through just to add a little element of texture. But I did ruffle it up. I don't think I mentioned that. I distressed the edges and kind of made it a little messy. And then I'm going to go in with some white paint splatters because I do have some, pattern paper, and I think the white paint would look gorgeous on top of, especially on the wood grain at the bottom. Just really pops. I'm so happy with this layout. It matches the Grams Afghan sequin mix so well, and it's so like fall themed. I love how this one turned out. My code is Brianna15. Use that to save you 15% off in the shop. I will have the shop listed in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, for commenting and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.